Here we go. Let's get to it right here. The mid-season power rankings. Dom with his clipboard in hand.
Yeah.
Trying to make himself look important. Yes.
All right. Okay. So let's bring up last week 6. All right. Let's get week 6 up in here. Oh, that's a view we never do. Let's try this again. There you go. That's week 6. That was our power rankings, everyone. Take a good look at that. Coming up when I show you the sections of this new power rankings and everything, you will see I have arrows next to them showing the changes. If they declined, inclined, if they did not move at all. So that is our week 6 ones right there. Let's move forward. Starting with, I believe I did maybe the bottom 5. Boom. There you go. Giants have not changed. So we have the Giants getting that first overall pick probably pretty much as well. Then we have the Cardinals dropping 5 spots. Carolina moving up a little bit. Patriots continuing to just suck. And Chicago and Denver up a little bit. What do we think?
I had a very difficult time trying to rank the bottom 10 teams. That was probably the hardest thing I had to do on this. So my bottom 10 was just so screwed up, but I'm honestly not surprised that these are the worst 5. Or, well, 6, actually. Good thing I know how to count, went to school.
Oh, good job. Yeah, I think these were the worst 6 previously, except for the Cardinals. So, but I mean, the Cardinals were the 7th. So, this is pretty much the same group that we had in week 6. Thoughts, Colton, Jake?
Yeah, they're bad. I think Denver.
Better luck next year, group.
I guess Denver's slightly getting better. Giants are the worst team in football. Nothing's changed with that. And I think Arizona's going to slide at the board a few spots because I think they're going to win some games with Kyler Murray. But yeah, this is dumpster fire.
This is Bunsville right here. Let's go to the next group. Boom, we have one of the largest moving teams right here, which blows my mind. And this was on you guys, not me. I had them higher. They actually would have been lower if I ranked them around where you guys ranked them. But the Rams dropped 9 spots, and that blew my mind because there are teams above them that I think don't compete as much as they compete. But those are my thoughts.
Well, now they have Carson Wentz.
You're right.
That's a no. No.
But you have to think, though, like Stafford, they're on the bye week this week. So Stafford obviously is going to come back because he was trying to practice, but he couldn't.
I just don't think they're that. I don't think they should have dropped below a lot of teams that we're about to see.
So what? When we did this, they played the Seahawks. Oh, so let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it was right after they played the Eagles and they lost. They only beat the Cardinals, and then they lost to the Steelers, get demolished by the Cowboys, and then you get showed up by Jordan Love. So
yeah, they're not good. And the thing is, they got Cooper Kupp back, and I thought, okay, this is where the liftoff's going to happen. They're going to take off, and Stafford's hurt again. That's why they're down here. Like they're just not. I thought they were a good football team. I thought they were surprising a lot of people at the start of the season. The way they competed in games. No. That's why they're down here. They're bad.
They went from a top 16 team to now a bottom 10 team on this list. So,
well, no, what's funny is 26 is exactly where I had Green Bay in the last one, and you guys pulled them up
that time. And now, now they're in your spot, 26.
I have them 26 again. They moved them on because I thought they were bad last time.
Did you guys look at last time's power rankings when you did this or no? Because I didn't.
No, I'm just looking at it now.
No, I went based off of let's group the first 8 weeks kind of together, and
I kind of work the bottom 10, then the top 10, and then try to fill out the middle because the middle is the hardest part. And when I do these power rankings and do the math and everything, our middle of the road teams, like the chunk of 10 or 8 in the middle, are just all over the place, and they're the closest mathematical teams on here. So yeah, I know the middle of the road is always very difficult. But let's go to the next one, which will feature a team that has moved and declined the furthest on this rankings, which is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers moving down 12 spots, which is huge. That's the most you're going to see.
I mean, they were 3-2, 4-1 when we last did it. So it's like it was hard to pinpoint. Like, okay, are they among the best teams or are they just frauds?
Yeah.
So
No.
it's very difficult to kind of get them.
They also went from like a decent defense with being able to stop the run to just none.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's a huge difference right there. Jets stay the same, and the Colts lose it a little bit, but that's, we were kind of riding this like, all right, Anthony Richardson, he doesn't look too bad, but he's also I don't know if he was hurt by then or not.
Yeah, I think he was definitely hurt by then.
Yeah,
he didn't finish a game.
no, he had never finished.
Yeah, that's not finished a game in his NFL career.
Yeah, but that's where we got the Colts. Let's move on to the next section. Finish out this bottom 16 portion. We have the Raiders that moved up a considerable amount. Washington as well. Saints, middle of the road, just stay. And then the Falcons, which Colton will like this one, moved down 5 spots. So
They're not good.
We're only allowed to talk about the 3 teams. They're not the Falcons.
Yeah, that NFC South is awful. Gosh, I thought the Saints were going to be a decent team. The Raiders might have been right on Derek Carr, but they got it wrong with Jimmy G. So I don't know if that's a win for the Raiders fans or what, but yeah, they're not good. Oh God,
it is wild that the Raiders moved up these 5 spots. Tampa Bay moves below them. The Colts moved below them. The Rams moved below them, right? That's how we trended this. And the Raiders blowing up everything, just starting a dude that like we didn't even know existed before the season and whatnot. They have moved up this many spots and are in the 20th spot. That part's kind of wild.
I had the Raiders at 18 because I was like, I wasn't too sure where to go, but I think Antonio Pierce and Champ Kelly are kind of going to maybe steer something in the right direction.
Yeah.
I mean, Jimmy G's not playing again this year unless, bearing an injury to Aiden O'Connell or if Brian Hoyer is going to be there. So,
yeah.
I had Vegas lower because I'm not going to give them credit on something they didn't earn yet. I agree. I think that Pierce will turn it around a lot compared to McDaniel, who's terrible. But I'm not going to say that they're going to be better before they do it. Beating up on the Giants is not
they're such a weird 4-5 team, though. It's like one of those teams where I don't know where to put them. Like I put the Commanders at 19, so I'm at least kind of happy that I put them at the spot that they're at.
I know, big fan you are. I know.
I can't hide the excitement.
You didn't say much about the Jets. You have plenty to say.
It's the goddamn Jets. Like I've had them at 22. I mean,
time and time again. Well, I got to tell you, you don't do a good job of hiding.
So
I'm telling you, I'm starting to go.
Listen, all I know is pain. Like I'm more happy when they lose, and then when they win, I just get really depressed. Like I just don't know how to react to it.
Christmas. I'll get you your first official on the team jersey for a player on their current roster.
I can't wait to get the discounted Chase Young jersey.
No. Sam Howell coming your way, buddy.
Oh, sweat. Here we go.
If you want some information on this one, right? This is actually kind of wild. Our highest ranks for Vegas and Washington were in the same 18 spot. Our lowest ranks for Vegas and Washington were at the 20 spot. And the math and everything that I did here, they're basically almost the same. There's a one little notch difference between the two teams. We have them basically essentially kind of pretty much the same on this list. So it's kind of wild. And Will was the one that ranked Washington the highest. So,
oh, come on, get it out, Colton. Just get it out now. Come on.
Get what out now? Oh, no.
You already got it out.
I got nothing else to say.
All right, we're going to move on to the top half of the portion here, the more positive teams, where hopefully we see less decline because that's a lot right there, that little section. We have the highest, no, not the highest moving, almost the highest inclining team, the Minnesota Vikings, going from I forget. They were in the 26, 27 spot, somewhere around there. They move all the way up to 16 to the top half. The Chargers move down a little bit, even though Staley's job is kind of not in concern right now. And hey, Colton, your Pittsburgh Steelers, 5 spots, move to the top half.
As they should be, 5-win team, but I do still think they're frauds. But
the worst 5-win team.
Five wins, man. They deserve to be in the top 15. Absolutely, not even a question.
The Vikings for me
Oh.
were so difficult to position because it's like, did Josh Dobbs have just a fluke debut for the Vikings? Like, I mean, or is just the Falcons just know how to blow leads because that's all we really know them for. So it was I'm like, they were like, what? They started 0-3. They won 5 of their last like 7 or something. So it's like, I'm like, I don't know where to put them. Like,
It just takes me to the Vikings defense the Atlanta defense made Jordan Love look good. I think that was more.
and they made Will Levis look good. I mean, we'll probably figure that out come the next 2 or 3
Bad
weeks.
defense. It's not great.
But they're like the 6th best defense, so it's like I don't know what to think.
Right. Isn't that wild how that works? Because the Chargers are like not the 6th best defense, and there they are as well. I don't know, and we haven't even seen. Oh, the Falcons. Never mind, they're 17th right there. Yeah. I don't know. And Josh Dobbs, man, I don't know how to feel about that. I still think they make. I still think they have some great moments. Cause
They have a
Arizona.
realistic shot of making the playoffs for the NFC because that's like they're showing people with 2 wins in the hunt, and it's like, you know.
Yeah, that's true. All right, next section. We have Houston kind of staying the same. Buffalo just tanking on this list. Cleveland moving up substantially, which I was a little bit surprised by because they've been kind of hit or miss every week, it feels like. But we saw them beat San Fran since we did these power rankings. So, but yeah, no, I know we've touched on Buffalo kind of, you know, some of us have either sold or held down to them in that segment in the past couple weeks. So this kind of, you know, right in line with that. Any thoughts?
The Texans were so difficult to just place on here because I'm like, man, I loved what CJ Stroud did on Sunday, but I have to also put into effect the previous 4 weeks. And it's like, I put him at what, 15? So like I'm like, you know what? I'm going to throw them in the middle of the pack. Let's see what they can do.
I had them at 12 and Buffalo at 13.
I'll say, where did I have the Steelers? I definitely had the Steelers way higher. Than
You had them at 4.
I hate you. I did not have the Steelers at 4.
You had them at 12.
12.
I hate you. You're a funny bastard.
That was good.
You're a funny guy, Will. Yeah, I think Cleveland's really good. I mean,
Wow.
I'm curious to see how good they get with Deshaun Watson under center. Since he's finally back and decided, you know what, maybe I should probably play for the city of Cleveland since they decided to pay me. So I'm back now. Amari Cooper looked good this past weekend, so I want to see what Cleveland does. I think they've looked really, really good for losing Nick Chubb. Their run game really hasn't missed a beat, and their defense is elite.
Yeah,
So,
Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year right now.
that is a lie, but okay, I'll let you have that one.
Max Crosby.
I think it kind of should be Max Crosby a little bit, but you know Myles Garrett's in the conversation. He always is. Actually, at this Cleveland spot, this number 11 spot, 3 of us chose Cleveland in that spot. I'm the only one that didn't. I chose Houston in that spot, so we're not too far off. But yeah,
That's so crazy though that we know this far. The all the AFC North teams are all in the top 14.
Yeah, that's true.
Meanwhile, the NFC South is just all together on that other side of the list.
But Atlanta has no shot to make the playoffs, right? Not a single shot.
Taylor Heineke, Mr. Heineken. Big aspirations.
Let's continue on the list. We have just all declines in this top 10 here. Dallas down 2, Seattle down 2, Miami goes from the 2nd spot down to the 8th. San Fran goes from the 1st spot down to the 7th. So that's kind of
Where did you guys have Dallas, or did I have Dallas? I wish I was on my phone.
Put him at 10.
3 of us had Dallas at
10.
10. Colton, you were the only one that didn't. You had them at 8. So there you go. Pretty consistent though.
Alrighty. I think Seattle sucks. Where did I have Seattle? I was down on Seattle.
10. We had Seattle at 10.
Damn. All right. Okay. All right.
This was
Seattle sucks.
I don't know. It's just so difficult to kind of like. I didn't want to move the Niners down. I didn't want to move the Seahawks down. The Cowboys, I was like, they're just going to be playing some bad teams and just look. I don't know. Be like, oh hey, we're going to get a revenge on Philadelphia. That's what we're going to do.
And they played well though. That's what I think.
The end of that game, it was like it didn't seem like either team wanted to win because it was like the Eagle, like AJ Brown knocked out Swift on that third down play that caused the fumble, and then they have the punt, and then the Eagles are just shooting themselves in the foot with penalties and all that stuff. But then Dallas just couldn't do anything because Dak was just getting taken down. It was just difficult to like decide where I wanted Dallas to go.
It is kind of funny on this. I see a lot of Colton and Will similarities as I do this. And then I see a lot of Dom and Jake similarities as I do this, where me and Jake will put the same two teams in the same spots. And then Will and Colton put the same two teams in the same spots.
Also, we did more of like a build off your 4 weeks. So like your first power rankings mattered.
Yeah.
It's like I had Cincinnati in this group because they look back. They're definitely back.
Yeah.
But you cannot forget that those first weeks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like actually right here, Will and Colton had San Fran both 7th. Me and Jake had San Fran both 5th. It's kind of funny how that works. And they fall right there on 7 though.
Yeah, they can't go from 1 to 7 because of
how it happens.
Two games.
That's how it happens. Same with Miami right there. But let's
you guys, so while we're on these teams here,
Yeah.
while we all have them bunched, do you guys actually think Miami's frauds?
I 100%. I read the train very hard. I am maybe the conductor of that train. I think they are 100% frauds, top to bottom. But that's me.
I think the injuries have already killed them.
And what did I say? I said that literally
But
in
you
our
didn't
predictions.
say it for the guys that you didn't say it for like the backup O linemen who also have gotten
Well,
hurt.
I said they're a fragile team. Well, I highlighted obviously the skill players, the biggest names. But I thought top to bottom, this was such not a deep team, and they are so fragile, and it won't take much to make them waver.
Well, it is a lot, though. Like, not only most of your starting offensive linemen, most of your backup offensive linemen, and I think they're a third center.
I just think, I think they are fraudulent. I think they definitely are, especially when they're now 0-6 against the last 6 teams that they've played with a winning record. They don't perform in those games. They didn't against Philly. I mean, Kansas City, that could have gone either way, but it's still, they didn't put up a point in the first half. It's just, I'm not convinced whatsoever by Miami. It's cute when you're winning these games and putting up 70 points against bottom 5 teams in the league, whatever. That's cool. You have the speed. You can do that. It looks great, but when it matters, it matters,
I do not think they're frauds. I think they're a good team. I think we're finally going to start seeing what the real Dolphins are now that they're all healthy with Howard back, Ramsey back, Phillips back, Armstead back. I think that's kind of where I'm at with the Dolphins. I don't think they're as good as what people thought they were. I don't think they're frauds, though. Like, I think they're going to end up beating some good teams. And, like, Tyreek fumbles the ball and turns into a touchdown for the half as they're finally driving. So that fumble, I think, changed things a lot.
Plus them dropping a touchdown versus the Eagles, which would
I don't think they're totally frauds. Like, people are all on the Dom wagon here, and like they're not good. They can only just piss on good shit teams. I don't think they're that. I think they are good. I think they're finally starting to get healthy. I know their offensive line's still banged up, but they're still like slowly starting to get healthy. So again, they didn't perform great, but the fact that that game was in Germany, I thought it was a good opportunity for the Dolphins instead of it being an Arrowhead where that could have been a lot worse. But and that's another one. That game should not be in Germany. I know
international games.
That game should not be in Germany. Absolute shit show that it's in Germany.
I think they're going to try getting at least like every team to host a game in Germany, kind of like how they did for London. Because like the Packers, for example, were like the last teams to host a home game over in across the pond. And now they're going to be going to either Brazil or Spain next year as I don't even know where I was going to go. Colton just cut his camera off. I was looking at him. But yeah, he threw me off. No, but like I don't know. I know what
they're trying to do. Like I understand the
global
whole
domination.
Yes, he wants to grow it like soccer, wants to get it to be a global sport. I get it. They sell out over there. Cool. But you could send garbage. You could send the Giants over there. This year's Giants, they would still sell out that damn game. Like, I don't want to hear it. That game should not be played in Germany. Nothing against the Germans. I got family there. Cool. I just no reason Dolphins Chiefs should be played in Germany. It's one of the best games of the season on paper, and you send that to Germany?
You can't have a game that has that much ramifications.
No.
And
But guess
fan
what?
base
I mean, thankfully it worked out for the Chiefs and they won. But if they lost that game, they're pissed. They're pissed if they lost that home game.
I think the fact that it's international is a big reason why the Miami offense doesn't show up.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Jaguars would love to be in London, every single week. They just wouldn't lose. But again, it's I understand that you're trying to grow the game. You should be growing it for teams with no fan bases, to be honest. You should be sending the LA teams over there because that's what they'll still love seeing Cooper Kupp. They'll love seeing Herbert in that LA offense. That's who you should be sending over there. Teams with no
I think you would
fans.
want to see like the superstar players though. Like, you got Rodgers last year, you saw Saquon, you see Trevor Lawrence, Josh Allen, the linebacker and the quarterback.
I do. Send a dumpster fire team over there and send a good team. That's not losing a home game. Like no fan.
Yeah.
Like Kansas City had to be pissed losing a home game. Had to be those people. I mean, again, it ended up working.
They sign on.
Won the game, but that's my little rant of the day. I hated that game was in Germany. I thought it was absolutely.
I'm very mad that I had to wait 45 minutes for this rant to come out. Even though you texted us like Sunday morning, like, I'm self-destructing. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, I got off of work. That was my it's like my 12-hour shift with my commute and with the time setting back at work. So that was wonderful. So everyone thought I was just cranky because of that. I'm like, no. It has nothing to do with me having like 3 hours sleep and then working a 12-hour shift and then clearly just going home to watch football and not sleep at all. No, I just thought it was absolute asinine that this game was being played in Germany and it was such good teams. I mean, I guess you could say it was because I couldn't sleep because if it was, the Giants and Cardinals or something, I would not care and I'd be gladly snoozing until the 1 o'clock games. But again, this game should not have been at 9:30 in the morning because guess what? You have no LA or any West Coast viewers on this game.
Yeah, that's also true.
Like they're sleeping. What are we doing? Like, just stupid. Sorry, give me the next few teams.
I just want to say, when I say Miami is fraudulent, before we move on real fast, I mean, like, I didn't like when we had them at 2. I'm totally cool with 8. I think 8 is...
That's not what fraudulent means.
Perfectly fine. No, but I was more fraudulent. I was more saying, like, I'm not okay with saying, oh, they're a second-ranked team.
Fraud means they're not even good.
I think the hype is fraudulent. I think that's what's fraudulent, not, like... I think them winning the division and me being wrong about that is completely accurate. But them being a second-ranked team, I just was not okay with. Well, let's continue. Let's move on. I think I go from 6 to 4 here. Yeah, I do. Detroit Lions don't move at all. I was a little bit surprised by that. Cincinnati going up 12 spots. That's the biggest incline. Right above the Vikings right there. And Jacksonville moving up a little bit, but that's right there, that middle spot before we get to the top 3. Thoughts?
Not surprised with Cincinnati. They're back.
Yeah.
They're back.
Yeah. Great defense. Offense is back. It's working out. Detroit, I'm surprised that we didn't have a little bit higher, but I get why we didn't.
A
it makes
game
sense.
against another really good team where they had their starting running back, which is most of their offense, out of the game.
Yeah.
kind of can't take that much away from it.
Yeah. But
yeah, I think the Bengals are back. My goodness, they look good with Joe Burrow. With Joe Burrow actually being able to move back there, they're disgusting.
Yeah.
I still find it not fair that we were not able to play them early in the season. Not a fan. Not a fan.
Let's go top three then. Let's see. Kansas City moves up 3 spots, which is wild that they even moved up 3 spots somehow. To third. Baltimore moving up huge to second, go from 10 to 2. Or is that 9? No, right? Yeah. That makes sense. And then Philly, first place. There you go.
See, all right, so where did you guys have the Ravens? I had them 1. I know I had them 1. Did anyone else have them 1?
I had them 2. You're the only one that had them 1. Jake had them 3.
All right, so Jake, why 3? I think 3 is absolutely asinine that they're 3.
Because this Chiefs and Eagles are proven commodities.
I mean, the Ravens are always there, and they pissed on everyone's lucky darling in the Lions. They absolutely
So,
pissed
but
on
what's the
them.
difference?
Yeah.
But
Are you ser-
what's the
are you
difference between
serious
2 and
how-
3 in the grand scheme here? It's that's the Super Bowl tier. 2 and 3 doesn't make a difference.
I also think with their record since our last rankings, I think they easily deserve to be 1 on this list. I hate to say it, because I don't like. I'm not scared of the Ravens. Like the Steelers somehow always beat them and play them tough. Lamar's MVP season, I don't care. They played them tough with Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph. I just think who they played and the way they've done it. I think they're the number 1 team, man. I truly think they are right now.
I don't think they can do anything when they can't run the ball.
Who did they just beat this weekend?
Seattle decisively. That was
That's
huge.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like
Seattle couldn't
Seattle's
stop a
good.
nosebleed on the run game. Not a single.
Well,
And they couldn't score.
We all thought their defense was going
Yeah.
to take a step backwards. Their defense is elite.
Yeah.
They
Yep,
pissed on the Lions.
aged like milk.
Yes, they do age like milk. Yes.
Our takes age like milk.
Yes,
I'm so
they
surprised too because
And-
Jake had the Chiefs at 1 on his.
They're back.
Meanwhile,
should. That's
Meanwhile, us 3, we had them in between what 5,
I was saying,
4,
where did I have
5.
them?
So that pushed them up to 3.
Where did I have
That's
KC?
surprising to me.
You guys both had them 5. I had them 4. Jake had them 1.
Yeah. See, I'm glad we're all around the same. It's just proven Jake's got a little Homer T in there. He's a Kelsey guy. It's kind of.
I don't like Mr. I don't like Mr. Pfizer and Mr. Bud Light.
Well, yeah. Again, I think the Ravens, who since our last rankings, who they beat, the way they beat them, it's not like okay, they won by a touchdown against the Lions. No. They beat them decisively, and they did the same thing to Seattle.
I didn't want to
They
put Baltimore
pissed
there.
on both.
I really didn't want to put Baltimore there. I didn't like putting Baltimore there, but just the fact that they beat Seattle so decisively, and that it's not the first time they've done that this season. I mean, Seattle showed like zero life in that game, and that's huge because Seattle's been a great team so far. I looked, and I didn't change their color in that box, by the way.
That's why I was laughing as you revealed it. I was laughing. I'm like, oh yeah, here we go. Something I can.
wondering why you laughed, and I know why you laughed. Yep, that is the Miami color still. That's kind of funny. I just now realized that. Well,
So Dom's inner hatredness for the Ravens just shows that they're fraud.
just-
He does not approve of this.
I didn't even want to acknowledge them.
Again, if you're going to ask me at the end of the season, Colt, do you have them at 1? I absolutely do not. Will not have the Ravens at 1. But like for now, you got to give the respect that they deserve. We have 2 of the top 10 teams on this list. We have 1 at 4, and they embarrassed them both. When we all thought, okay, here's a test for the Ravens. No. It's a test
Here's
for
a test
the
for
other
them.
2, and they embarrassed them. So for me, I think they
My
deserve to be
dividing
1.
line was
And
both the Eagles and Chiefs have won more than one game when not having their A performances. Like they've had other positions step up and they can win multiple ways.
I don't disagree. I also thought Dallas looked a lot better, so I'll give that to Philly. But I also haven't been like in love with Philly. I thought Philly deserved to be 1 on the last power rankings where you weren't high on them. I thought they were really good, but I just think the Ravens, you can't like disregard what they've done. They have embarrassed teams. It's
So-
not like, okay, it's fun the Dolphins putting 70 on the Broncos.
Holding
No.
Miami to one
They're
offensive
putting
touchdown
whopping-
is unimpressive.
They're putting whopping numbers on good football teams. They're not just pissing on the Broncos. They're pissing on the Lions, who we have 4 on this list, and the Seattle Seahawks, who are a top 10 team. They piss on them both. I can't believe you have them 3. That's crazy. 2, fine, whatever. I got it. 3, I get it's only 1 spot. Man, that's crazy. Like, they're better than Kansas City right now.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You're the only one that had him at 1.
I don't know. I don't know, man. You had Kansas City on 1. I think that's crazy. I think they're 20 times better than Kansas City right now.
I don't think so. I think they stopped.
I
They
haven't been impressed.
put
I haven't been
more
impressed.
in a box, and then it's just the home show.
That's my point. They're very Mahomes reliant.
No, they've won multiple games early in the year where that's why I just said they've won multiple games early in the year when they did not have a Mahomes show.
Mahomes is really
their weapons aren't
good.
one
game. The defense won them most of them.
I think that's also playing into it. Their weapons aren't good enough in Kansas City.
They're still winning though. They just beat Miami doing that.
Okay, we just called Miami soft. So I don't know why you're shocked by that.
I did, but
you're giving credit to teams that are in that tier, and what? Miami's not one of them. They're ahead of Seattle.
Again, because they are better than Seattle. I don't think Seattle's good. But we have them as a top 10 team. I don't think Seattle's good, though.
So then why are you giving the Ravens so much credit for beating them?
Because everyone else around the league thinks Seattle's good. Not just us. People around the league think Seattle's good.
This is your opinion, not theirs.
And they pissed on them. They didn't just beat them. They didn't just beat them. And by the way, if the Dolphins play slightly better and don't fumble the football, they'd probably beat Kansas City. But they didn't. So great. I do not think Kansas City is as good as previous Chiefs teams. If Mahomes doesn't pull magic out of their ass, they're not good.
Outside Dallas and us all pretty much decisively having them 10, this top 9 for all of us is pretty all over the place. Like substantially all over the place, to be honest.
I think the Bengals worked their way into the top 3 at the end of this. I think Kansas City slides down a touch on this. I think Kansas City's a top 5 team, and it's because of their quarterback and Chris Jones. But, man, you take one of those guys off, they're barely a top 10 team. Like, I don't love Kansas City this year. I think the weapons are starting to add up. I don't know how teams don't double Kelsey. I know he finally didn't have a good game against Miami. Double him.
Because Taylor wasn't there.
I truly don't understand how teams do not try to take away Travis Kelsey and say, beat me somewhere else. Because Valdez-Scantling wasn't good with Aaron Rodgers. Sorry, he wasn't good. We all thought Sky Moore was going to take a drastic jump in year 2. He's not that good. And they have Rashid Rice as the rookie at SMU. He's good. He's decent, cool. Their weapons are not scary. I don't get why teams are not taking away Kelsey. Triple team them, double team them, something. They're just giving them Kelsey still. I truly don't get it. I'm waiting until the playoffs where teams are going to be like, all right, cool, beat me somewhere else. God almighty, I don't get it.
This is really kind of wild, actually. I'm just taking a look at it, and it's crazy how different a lot of us are about just these top 7 teams. Well, I guess not. I guess top 9. But, like, going into this past week, I kind of thought Detroit was a top 2 team. I was kind of all about putting Detroit high because I thought they were doing it on both sides of the ball. And I was like, there's not many teams just decisively playing both sides of the ball very well. And until Baltimore did what they did to Seattle, I mean, Philly, they also have the best record, solely the best record in the league. I don't know.
I was the highest. Oh, no. Colton and I both had the Bengals at 3. But, yeah, I'm pretty high on the Bengals, though. So it's...
Yeah, and that's also true. You guys both had the Bengals at 3. Me and Jake didn't have them top 5.
Yeah, I'm just going on what they're doing now. I get their record and everything. They're going to be in the top 3 on this list at some point. Like, I have them crowing the top 3 with Will. They're going to be there. I think we're all going to.
They're going to easily end the season in the top 5. They just had a hole to dig themselves out of.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I had them lower.
And Joe Burrow was hurt, so it kind of makes sense why they were in that hole to start.
Well, yeah, we knew. We all knew the reason, and we saw decisively when he started moving around.
That's right.
In not a totally back game, but he was moving around again. It's like, okay, all right, they're going to be fine.
Oh, yeah, when he stiff arms Nick Bosa to the ground.
No, it was even before that. It was like 2 or 3.
No, but
a couple games before that one. And we're like, okay, there's signs of life here. They're all right. They'll be okay.